Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning tea. I'm your girl, Alex Schiffman, and I'm joined by the amazing and wonderful Courtney Revolution. How you doing, Courtney?
Good morning. I am Courtney Revolution, and welcome to the morning tea. Hello, Tea Tribe, and good morning, Alex. I'm hanging in there, girl. I'm ready for Friday. How you doing today, girl?
I am doing well. You know, we love a little hump day, but Courtney, I got to tell you something that's going to blow your mind and something that we didn't celebrate yesterday on Tequila Tuesday. But you want to hear something, Courtney?
Yeah.
We have done, as of yesterday was our 50th show together.
Already? You've been here 5 weeks already?
Wait, isn't that crazy?
10 weeks already? I'm bad at math, y'all.
I have 10 been here 10 weeks. Fill in the morning tea with you. We have done 50 live shows together. Isn't that crazy? We got to cheers to that. I know you don't have your tea yet, but we should have cheers yesterday. So, cheers to no water in our cup. Yes.
I did not realize that it was hold on, girl, this is why I'm the floating head, because I'm too close to the damn camera. I'm very glad that it has been 50 episodes already, and I think that it's very important to note that although the show is very different, I feel as though you and I have gotten into our own kind of groove. You know, the morning tea has seen sort of like this transformation, and I have to be honest, I'm a little bit on board with the differences. I really am excited just to talk about a little bit different stuff while still being able to maintain the conversation that the show has always sort of been built on. So I appreciate you, Alex, for coming and joining the morning tea, and I appreciate all of the Tea Tribe members that have been sticking through with us, not leaving mean ass, rude ass comments that all got deleted anyway. And I appreciate all of the Tea Tribe members that have just recognized what the situation is, Alex. We're two humans met. They threw us into this job. They said, talk, be friends, and talk about the tea. And it gets a little difficult, you know, but you know what? We've done a really good job. And I'm very proud of your performance, and I'm glad to have you here, Alex, honestly.
Yes.
Everybody put Alex some love in the chat, period. Put her emoji in the chat. We need the salsa dancing woman immediately, ASAP.
Well, Courtney, you know that it takes two to tango. And if I didn't have your amazing smile and support on the other end of the camera, this show wouldn't be successful. So thank you. I'm so excited. 50 shows. That's a milestone. I just wanted to cheers to that because that's very, very exciting. But speaking of the Tea Tribe, because of course, you guys are part of the show, and we love to hear every single morning, where are you watching from? We know that this show goes international, and let us know in the chat because we love to hear it. We know we have fans. Yesterday we had fans in Jamaica. We had fans in Kentucky, in Chicago. We have fans all over, and we love to hear about it. So if you're a new Tea Tribe member, also let us know in the chat because we love some new Tea Tribe members every single day. And
whether you're near or far, tell us where you are.
Exactly. Alonce says, so the real question is, when are y'all going to meet up in that studio? You know what?
Girl, no time soon. And y'all need to stop it. No time soon. I'm not going to meet Alex no time soon because hopefully we're not going to the studio no time soon. For those of y'all that don't know, me and Alex are in Los Angeles and everything is shut down. So we better not get no email from no bosses talking about we going back to no studio no time soon because I'm not here for it. So I'm putting it out there publicly on the show. So y'all all hear it. I'm not here for going back to the studio no time soon because I like to stay.
Being home is comfortable. What I do miss about a studio is not being the lighting, the audio, the camera, doing everything so flashy. But I love being for a while, Tea Tribe. Sorry about that. I mean, while I would love some beauty lights and a beautiful set, here's what we got. But we still can bring you the tea straight from our homes every single day and do it safely. Speaking of LA, you just mentioned, there is a heat wave still going on. Last night, my TV went out randomly. Like it just went out. The power went out. It came back. But some weird stuff's going on. How are you over there, Courtney?
I'm fine, Alex. I have my Twitter alerts on for like the LA Department of Water and Power. So
Yeah.
They've been saying like between the hours of like 3 and 10 to like sort of limit your usage of electricity. So instead of having both my air conditioners on, girl, I only turn on one and I turn the coldness to 11, girl, but I put it on low. I put it on low, and then I click the energy saver button so that I'm not like a puddle of sweat. But I'm surviving. When I do the show, before the show, so if you guys don't know, we have like a pre-production meeting before the show. Right after that is done, I turn my air conditioner on and I leave it on all the way up until right before the show. Because if I didn't, Alex, all y'all would see is my good skincare melting off of my face because I would be sweating. I promise you. I've got two layers, see the ring light and my reflection, so it gets hot in here and the window does not open. So.
It does. I know. I'm hot over here. Yesterday, I drove to the valley and it was like up to 115. I had to run an errand and I'm like, this is crazy. Because, you know, my mom lives in Palm Desert. And so it gets hot out there. But we have the same temperatures over here. So it is really, really crazy. But we hope everyone's safe. I see people in the chat saying they're watching from Puerto Rico. Ooh, from Detroit. Who is here from Miami?
We have a super chat, Alex.
What's that?
We have a super chat from Khartoum. And they're saying, hey guys, hey Court, I missed you. And we missed you too. Shout out to everyone that may have missed the morning tea. Some of you guys are going back to school. Some of you guys are going back to work. So if you've got one AirPod in and you're listening, shout out to you. We hear you, we see you, and we're thinking of you.
We do. Ruth says, yeah, good weather over here. It's hella hot. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy how hot it can get. But Jeree says they're melting here in Vegas. I get it. It's hot out there too.
Yeah.
Humidity
Be careful,
also.
y'all. I need one of them handheld fans, a little spritzer.
Exactly. But speaking of Vegas, we have to talk about this because I think these guys have performed in Vegas once or twice before. We're talking about the Backstreet Boys right now. We're bringing it back old school because they have some new news. They're launching an Apple Music radio show. It'll feature all 5 members, Nick, Brian, Kevin, AJ, and Howie. And they'll be getting up close and personal with fans by answering questions, sharing memories, and discussions of the band's future. Because, of course, they're still together. And I know, before everyone gets crazy in the chat, I was an NSYNC fan, so we know that there's that rivalry going on, but I still love the Backstreet Boys. And this is some exciting news for them, of course. Who do you think is going to, do you think they'll have guests on the show?
Maybe. The reason why I find it interesting is because y'all know I'm a big fan of obviously Nicki Minaj and Queen Radio, and Nicki is able to call people and she has people come up. So I wonder if the Backstreet Boys will do the same thing. Truthfully, what I want, girl, is Battle of the Bands. Can y'all call NSYNC and y'all have like a harmony off over the phone or something like that? Can y'all have Justin come up there and hit tell us about the infidelity clause and everything else? This will be good, Alex. Yeah. I think it's good for the people that love a good nostalgic moment. Whether you are a fan of either or, you can sort of like stick your toe back into that time period. So I'm here for it.
I mean, it's crazy. They're still making music. So even if you're not an old school fan, like maybe you're a new fan of the Backstreet Boys. Maybe this is new to you. You know what I mean? Like they're playing on the hit. So maybe they'll get a younger generation of fans, and with this new radio show, this is awesome. But I see someone in the chat just said Backstreet's back, all right. Danny, yeah, Backstreet is back, all right. Pink says, oh my God, they're back again. Let us know. Let's start a little fight in the chat. Let's start a little rivalry. Were you NSYNC or were you Backstreet Boys? Let us know in the chat which girl or guy you were, because we know that you could only be one.
Girl to the day I die. Period. Tearing up my heart. Are you kidding me? I want you back. Are you kidding? I want you. So y'all can't touch that. Backstreet Boys had hits, but there's something about NSYNC, Alex, and I hate to do this right now. I'm not gonna go off on a long rant, but something about NSYNC, they truly did it for me. Now, Backstreet Boys, everybody. That's cute. You know, they want it that way. They want the all white, cute, fine, whatever, save it for the wedding, but I'm going to the club. I'm going to Mickey's when they open. Rather, I'm going to Rocco's when they reopen with Lance Bass and the boys of NSYNC. Period.
Right? I'm here. I mean, NSYNC had They had Justin, unfortunately. You know, Backstreet has Nick Carter, but NSYNC has Justin. And we know that Justin obviously went off and started his own solo career because he's that talented. I was a JC fan. I'm not going to lie. Hollyscoop. Leo, is that you? Leo's a 98 Degrees fan. We can't bring them in there. We're not talking about 98 degrees right now. 98 degrees.
Alex, did Nick Lachey had a solo career, right? He sang a tune once or twice, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah. Like you had like two songs.
I put 98 Degrees in the bag with like O-Town, LFO. Yeah. They were like the main two, and then they were like the Mandy Moore girls, you know? So I put them in the category. Wait, makes me sick. I know this song. Wait.
Girl, stop by for the summer.
Not a Chinese food makes me sick, but I'm not gonna girl stop by for the summer. All the girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I'm doing the most now.
Oh yeah!
Shout out to LFO.
We're just if you came here that have passed away. Right, that is summer. That's LFO, of course. What we were just singing. So we're bringing you all different boy bands today. You know, if you came here to see us spill the tea, we're just performing a concert of boy bands. So I hope you came here for that. But I see music lovers saying NSYNC, Ashley saying Backstreet Boys, Ruth says period love. Oh, are you referring to, which one are you referring to, Ruth? Tamra says NSYNC. Brittany says, I like Nick. I was also 8 years old at the time. LOL. Jennifer, NSYNC. Okay, Pink Wonderful's Backstreet Boys all the way. Good, so you can check out their new radio show. I know.
Shout out to Natalie. Natalie is saying Backstreet Boys always in love from the UK. Well, thank you, Natalie.
Yes. Hello, Natalie. Good morning. You know, since we're already singing a little bit, I think it's time for a little 5, 6, 7, 8.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya. Miss Mika, she on fleeka. Miss Mika, she loves the tea, and we see ya. Miss Mika, go Mika, go Mika, go Mika. Happy Wesley Say Wednesday to our girl, Miss Mika. You know, it's always nice to meet you, girl.
Exactly. Good morning, Tamika. And of course, it is What Wesley Say Wednesday. So, Wesley, we have to see you in the chat. And we got to, Wesley says, I want tea that way.
Yes, sing it, Wesley.
Sing it, Wesley. Okay. Let's break it down what we have on the show today. If you're just joining us, Tea Tribe, we got to get this party started. Give us a thumbs up if you're ready for some tea, because get this, Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian are making us say OMT this morning, of course, so stick around for that later on in the show. We're also talking about the weird Instagram Wendy Williams posted. Did you see that, Courtney?
I did, girl.
Yeah. We're talking about that and why Tiffany Haddish shaved her head. Where is Tayshia in the new Bachelorette promo? And what changes Britney Spears wants with her conservatorship. This is some interesting news, some big changes that she's looking for. All that plus, of course, our Couples Thera-tea and our favorite family, our Kar-Jenner tea time. So let's get started right now with all the stories you may have missed last night. It's time for You Missed It, and topping the news this morning. Of course, Courtney, before we get started, let's pour up that water because there's so much tea to spill. Are you still doing the peach, or are we green teaing today?
I took a break today, girl. I got my green.
Yeah? Nice.
Yeah, I got my green today. I'm ready, girl.
Cheers. I have this new vanilla Starbucks coffee. Let me just tell you, it is absolutely delicious. I've never had just straight vanilla coffee. Usually you use a creamer or something like that. No, this is vanilla coffee and it's good.
I didn't even sip the coffee. I put the tea down to literally respond to a comment that I'm not going to respond to. And girl, now I'm going to sip.
All right, let's get into it. So first up, Ariana Grande. If you haven't yet, marked her milestone, became the most streamed female artist on Spotify. Rihanna had previously held the top spot on Spotify, and Ariana was honored, but she hoped Rihanna would regain her crown soon. So Ariana wrote on Instagram, she said, quote, "Now can Rihanna please drop her album so she can rightfully snatch this back and fill my ears again, please?" Or So this is just a cute moment between the two women. I love to see this because, of course, there's a lot of putting in the media and the industry. They put women against women. There could only be one top female artist. And Ariana's like, no, I'm just as much a fan of Rihanna as I am excited about my own music. So she's just like, give us the music. She's like, get that back. So I love this.
I'm glad that Ariana like commented on this before the chart data pages on Twitter and stuff started making it like a competitive thing. Also, what I'm thinking about this is, I swear, y'all, if Rihanna is not like number one for like 90 days straight once this music comes, if I was Rhea, I would never make music ever again. Because the fact that everyone and their mom is like begging for this music, I mean, every single song on Rihanna's next album better chart for 90 days straight. Because y'all done begged for this every day for years. She filed a trademark kitchenware or something recently. So like, is the music coming, Alex? Here's the question. Is the music really coming? Because Rihanna's filing trademarks for other stuff. My point being, I love Ariana. I love Ree. I want the music from Ree. I just feel like as soon as it comes, y'all better not listen to nothing else because we done begged for this. I don't want to hear nothing but Ree for the next 90 days.
It's just so funny that even Ariana, as she's accepting an award for a milestone she made in her career, she's still asking for Rihanna's music. It's just hilarious to me. But I love to see this. T-Tribe, let us know how you feel about this. Are you excited for Ariana, or you want the Rihanna music also? But let's get into some more interesting news. Kind of creepy. Wendy Williams posted on Instagram to wish her son a happy 20th birthday. But of course, the talk is how kind of creepy it is. Here's what she posted. So she said, "Today is my biggest day. My son Kevin and I are celebrating his 20th birthday. He's in Miami and I'm in NYC, but love never stops. If you look closely, you'll see remains of his first haircut. My circlage, I think that's how you pronounce it, is on his sneaker. Like a mom, I do have all his teeth," with the crying eyes emoji, the laughing emoji. Do you think this is cringy? Do you think that, it's normal for parents to save all these photos? And I mean, photos I get, but your first hair and your teeth. Mom Tribe, chime in on this, definitely. Do you think this is weird, or do you think it's cute?
I think, to be honest, Alex, I think that more moms do this than we realize. Maybe that's why we're all having like a "girl, what you doing" kind of moment.
Yeah.
I think things become a little bit different once they're publicized. Like, I'm sure a lot of my friends' moms have done something to that effect, but they're just not going to put it on media. Now, I know that Wendy is very much... She's been over the past year trying to like be more active on her own on Instagram. Right. So she probably felt like this was just like something just quickly personal, and she probably thought nothing of it. I don't think she thought anything of it.
Yeah. No, this is such like a mom thing to do. And I'm not going to lie. I'm sure my mom in some baby book in the garage has a lock of my hair or some teeth. So I don't think it's that weird for her to have these things as a mother, but, it's his 20th birthday, and I know she really, really loves her son. They have a special relationship. It's like, it's different if he was turning 10, like he's almost 21 years old. Like, I think it was a little much, but I only Wendy can do something like this, right? We kind of like let it slide because it's Wendy.
They parents over in the chat got all their teeth too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not weird to have like, they make like little porcelain holders for baby teeth and that kind of stuff. Like, having it, I don't think is weird at all. But I think displaying it for his birthday post is a little odd.
Alex, you gonna keep your cervical stitch of your baby? You gonna put that in the baby book, girl? You ain't gotta show us, but would you think like just as a keepsake, girl?
That I would not include. Listen, I appreciate the love she has for her son, and she really, truly, this is love. I mean, yeah. But, a nice little beautiful photo of the two at dinner could have worked just as well. You know what I mean?
You're right, though. You're right. You know what, Alex?
Karen says, I have my kid's first tooth, lock of hair, and shoes, too. Heather said, my oldest son turned 24 the day before yesterday. Oh, happy belated birthday to your son, Heather. RV says your baby will always be your baby no matter the age. And I agree. My mom says that all the time. So I understand. You know, she views this very differently than probably everyone judging this. So I completely get it. Wesley says, thank God it's the first hair and not the first dirty diaper. Yes.
Period, Wesley.
Period. That would be
period. I agree.
Level. All right. Well, speaking of another level, let's talk about Tiffany Haddish, who took her hair to another level. Actually, no level at all. Because as we know, she took it down another level. 3 buzzes down to shave her head. She was on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, of course, and told Jimmy that she's loving her new look and said being bald has helped her learn more about herself. She also said that she felt like this summer was perfect because there were no public appearances or red carpets, which is very true. And get this, her new boyfriend, Common, actually gave her the buzz cut. Like, how funny is that? What do you think about it? What do you think about this, Courtney? Do you think, I think it definitely helps her learn more about yourself because, like, I know me, like, my hair is part of my identity. I know that, like, when I go to get a haircut, I'm like the littlest inch. Like, I get very nervous at haircuts, and I've always wanted to, like, chop it to a bob. You know, the grass is always greener. You know, like, that's like, you always want a different look, and, like, you get bored. I get it. But I don't think I could actually get to that point where I cut my hair. So this is like a huge deal to me. And I think that it's awesome that she's owning it like this. How do you feel about this, Courtney?
I got to ask you a question. But before I do that, I just want to say I think it's funny that Common shaved her head because, you know, there's the thing that people say that like couples start to look like each other over time, especially the gay couples, girl. You ever seen some 2 gay men that date each other and they look like twins, like Tio and Tamaro, and I'd be like, what's going on here? I think that that's funny. What I wanted to ask you, Alex, is you were talking about your hair. So does this mean if you were on America's Next Top Model, you would be the girl that cries when they're like, girl, we're going to dye your hair blonde and give you a buzz cut?
1,000,000%. 1
I love
that. I would say, you know what? This model life isn't for me. I got to go. Yeah. However, let me just say, for medical reasons and all of that you do, you know, some people do have to shave their hair and they have no choice. And I feel for them and I understand. And if, you know, God forbid that happened to me, I would do it. Of course, I would have no choice. Yeah. However, if it was my choice, I love a little, you know, I love some hair. The more hair, the better.
Silly Alex, I love my hair.
I'm just saying, it's like the one thing I have a lot of control over. So
yeah, I've been trying to get myself into the head of people that cry over the haircuts on America's Next Top Model because you know what Tyra do sometime, girl. She coaxes you into shaving your head and then she send your behind home the same episode.
Oh my, honestly,
like that, no career and no money.
That's my worst nightmare. Like if that happened, my worst nightmare. But I do admire people that have the courage to do that. Honestly, I think that
me too.
It's cool that someone has that. However, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that. But back to Tiffany. Talking about, yeah, it's interesting to know that it's something she's always wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything that you've always wanted to do that you just haven't had the chance to do yet, Courtney?
No. Well, not really. Everything that I've wanted to do, I've at some point done. Like I randomly, when I was younger, I was like, I want to work for Disney, and I had no reason why I did that. I said, oh, I want to, work in social media and YouTube and stuff like that. And here I am next to Alex Schiffman. So, I mean, the next step for me, I guess, is when my album is dropping. I didn't do that yet. No mixtape yet. And I guess, where's my reality show, Alex? I need that. As soon as this quarantine is over, now we need MTV Bravo and the girls to be up in my little cardboard box apartment so I could read the girls down for 30 minutes over the week. Mm-hmm. So
let's say that because you look everyone so far because Courtney, you put your mind to it and you make it happen, and I love that about you. So now we just need your reality show. So keeping up with Courtney with the speed. let's make it happen. But until that reality show, we're going to talk about another reality show that just released a promo for The Bachelorette, and it's getting people talking. Take a look at this promo right now. So, Kourtney.
Well, that don't look black.
Did you notice anything missing? Did you?
Alex, now I have not seen The Bachelor. Like, I'm not a Bachelor Nation girl, but I don't know. I don't even know what Tayshia looks like, but I could take a wild guess and guess that Tayshia was not in that teaser.
That is a great guess, Kourtney. And that is what everyone's talking about, because in that promo, you can barely see who it is, but it is Claire Crawley, who was named, of course, The Bachelorette. But we've spoken about it on the show. There was drama. She fell in love. Not really drama. I guess she just fell in love, and they decided to replace the rest of the journey with Tayshia. Now, there's no sign of Tayshia in that promo. Multiple sources confirmed to people that Tayshia became the new Bachelorette because Claire, of course, what I just said, had fallen in love with one of her original suitors. Why do you think Tayshia's missing?
Do I want to be honest or do I want to be diplomatic, Alex? I think
honest
that
and diplomatic.
What do I want to say? I think that it might be better for ABC to rope in their regular audience by showing Claire than showing Claire and Tayshia in the teaser, because people that do not necessarily agree with the Black Lives Matter movement will comment negatively on it. And the reason why I'm saying that specifically, you guys, is because when I have a local moment and I log on to Facebook, Alex, and I see just normal articles from like feed or like my local newspaper from back home, and people are trying to be more aware and sensitive to issues that affect Black people, all of the comments are, why'd you do this? This is a political thing, and I'm not going to watch this. And when the announcement was made about Tayshia being on The Bachelorette, right? BuzzFeed did like an article on it, and Alex, all of the comments, except for mine, all of the comments were like, I'm not watching this. I'm done with this show. This is awful. I can't believe that ABC would pander to Black Lives Matter. This is all a thing from that side of the political rainbow. And like, it turns into a whole political thing. So I do think truthfully that it is a safe kind of thing to show Claire initially. And, get all the people riled up, and girl, watch the drama when it switched. For the people that don't watch like shows like The Morning Tea or E or anything like that, they don't know that this switch with Tayshia is going to happen. Let us revisit this when that switch happened and see what the reaction is like. I'm very curious.
Music Lover made a good point. She'll probably be in the first full trailer. This is just a teaser, so that could be true. I will say that Bachelor is known they love the drama. They love the suspense. So it could be also just them showing, because we follow, I know you don't watch it, but Bachelor Nation follows it year round very, very closely. So they know about Tayshia, but the average viewer that just turns on ABC, like maybe some of our parents and doesn't use social media, may not know that Tayshia's coming. So for those viewers that may not know yet, maybe they're holding it back. Maybe it'll be one episode of Claire, and then all these teaser trailers will come out with Tayshia. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it is interesting that they haven't shown her yet, and I guess we'll find out sooner or later why. But I hear what you're saying, and I know certain people feel that there's a lot more layers to this new casting than just what we think it is. Yes.
I have an actual extra response to your question about something I've never done that I've wanted to do before, and it's all thanks to Wesley. See how I tie it all in, y'all? What Wesley said. So Wesley said, I don't know why, but Kourtney's shirt is giving me Freddy Krueger realness. And Wesley, fun fact, something I've always wanted to get was a Freddy Krueger tattoo. So that's something that I haven't done yet, and I really want to do, and I will do eventually. And that's also the reason why I bought this shirt from Target.
A Freddy Krueger tattoo?
I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It's my favorite horror movie franchise. I've seen them all. Like I own them. Like I've seen like the 2 hour long like documentary going through like all the series. Like I go to bed to that. Like I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Ooh,
R.I.P.
scary.
Wes
You
Craven.
go to bed to that, you're gonna get nightmares. Freddy's gonna be in your dreams. Don't you know how it goes? Isn't there a nightmare on Elm Street, Kourtney?
Girl, I wish I lived on Elm Street, girl. I dare Freddy to come mess with me, girl. He won't be leaving, girl.
Yeah, that's right.
I love
You're
me some
part
Freddy
of
Krueger. So to answer your question.
Have you ever been in for Halloween with that? Possibly
No,
the
and I
shirt?
should.
Yeah.
Girl, I always go with like something stupid and last minute as Halloween. See, this Halloween was supposed to be the Halloween. Like, did you feel like this year was like, ooh, this year I'm gonna do X, Y, Z? I had a lot of that, and it all got slashed. So it's fine. I can prepare for next year.
Well,
So
last
good.
year was my J-Lo, so I don't think I'll ever top that. I'm just gonna be a different shade of J-Lo every year. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be.
I stand that idea.
You know, I'm gonna do it all. But speaking of Jenny from the Block and the 2000s and everything, yes, let's talk about Britney Spears because this is an update to, of course, the Free Britney movement, her conservatorship. We've talked about it many times on the show. Well, it looks like Britney is looking to make some big changes to her conservatorship. That is always difficult to say. She doesn't want her father, Jamie, to continue to run the whole show. So in documents, Britney's lawyer says Britney strongly prefers keeping Jody Montgomery in the position. So Jody, for those that don't know, has been assigned as the temporary conservator over Britney's dad for nearly a year now. And these docs also say that Britney reportedly no longer wants to perform at this time, which is interesting. So, Kourtney, how do you feel about this? Do you think that her dad should be still in charge, or do you think that this change needs to happen?
First, let me say hi to Jasmine. Jasmine is saying, did anyone hear about the haunted house drive-through at OC Fair? I did not. Did you hear about that, Alex? I didn't know that was
no.
I don't think they're on the OC, girl.
I want to.
I'm sorry. What was the question, Alex? I forgot that fast.
The question was Britney Spears and her conservatorship. Of course, remember Jody Montgomery took over for her dad. I think he was ill, or there were some medical issues going on. Do you think that her dad should come back, or do you think you agree with Britney? Yeah.
No, I feel like since Britney is fine, according to Sam, Britney is clearly well enough to know whether she needs her father to control her coin or not. I feel like if you and your family had a good relationship, no matter what may have happened in the past, you would want your dad to be able to control your fines or your decisions if you felt like you couldn't do it on your own. And the fact that Britney is like, well, I would rather have an outside party do it, speaks volumes. So, I mean, T-Tribe, the question is Britney okay? Even though Sam and all that good bone structure said she was, and we saw a receipt, my brain is a little bit clearer today because we don't have a picture up of him. I'm wondering if Britney is truly okay again.
Me too. I mean, we hope that she's okay. I will say that we have seen her on Instagram posting, on TikTok. You know, we've seen her a lot more within this past year that Jody Montgomery has kind of taken over. So maybe Britney has more freedom. Maybe of course, we know she was more controlled with her father. Speculation, not confirmation, but Britney obviously wants this for her life as well. So she probably feels that this is the right decision. You know, she probably sees like, wow, I'm getting a lot more freedom and I'm happier.
Alex, we're going to wait on this book. Y'all know how I love to talk about the books that haven't been written yet. Them boys going to write that book and they not going to sell it to Lifetime. We're not going to get no more awful Lifetime Britney movies. And those books are going to tell the truth. Or girl, not even the boys. Do we have to wait on the boys? I'm even at this point as an adult, I can put all of my personal feelings aside and be ready for a Kevin Federline book. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Tell me what's going on from your perspective, what you see. Because, you know, you don't have to read the first like 17 chapters. You can skip almost towards the end so we can find out how he feels about Britney today.
I feel that, you know, I'm ready for a book too. And I feel that we need we need at the end of the day, we just need answers. We don't know what's going on. And we feel that no one's actually giving us the truth. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I saw something in the chat that, Britney's own sons don't get along with their grandfather. Like, there is a lot of family drama that we just don't know about. And I think a tell-all book, whenever that happens, will do so well, because we don't know what's going on. And we're so curious to see if Britney's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to follow that one, girl. What's going on with Britney?
We do. But let's move on to some couple news, because it's time for our Couples Thera-tea. And first up, we're talking about Lily Reinhart and Cole Sprouse and kind of the breakup. And Lily said in an interview with Refinery29 that the last couple months have probably been the most emotional few months of her entire life. Now, she said that her therapist said, your body's going through withdrawal from love, which I thought was very interesting, because it's something that when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, of course. But I've never really heard it said like that from a therapist's mouth. And it's so true that, like, we're, as human beings, we desire love. We need love in our life, whether, and it's any kind of love. You may find love through your career. You may find love through your family. You may find love through your significant other. There's many ways to feel love. But something specifically as a relationship that when you're used to kind of those same endorphins, those feelings, that happiness with that person brings you when you go through a breakup, it's a withdrawal. And I'm sure that, Cole was her coworker. They share Riverdale together. They obviously had a long-term relationship together. And now she's going through all of this through quarantine. So there are so many layers to this breakup that must be so difficult, and it's all public. So I feel for her and I wish her well. How do you feel about this, Kourtney?
I feel like she's got to get back to her. I feel like when you go through a breakup, it's easy to wallow. It's easy to go through photos and why me and why did this happen and rehash and do all of those things. But it really boils down to your first priority, and your first priority should be loving yourself before you can love anyone else again.
Yes.
So I hope that Lily remembers, rather not figures out, but remembers what made her happy before this relationship. What friendships were really holding her down before she got involved? Is she a painter? Does she like to exercise? Is she like a mama's girl? She's gonna call her mom every day now because she is single. She has to figure those things out and remember, so that she can get back to being a woman that she was. You don't need nobody.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Even if you're going through a breakup right now and you're not Lily, you need to figure out what made you happy in the first place, because that person only made you happy for a period of time. You got a whole life to fulfill that person. Figure it out.
That's great advice. That's so funny that you said that, because I love my Love Island UK, and one of the girls is like going through a breakup after 3 days, and one of the other contestants said to her, "Who were you before him?" And it's so insignificant in this actual story that we're talking about, but it's true. You were someone before your relationship. You are your own person, and I love that you said that you have to love yourself again to allow other love into your life. And if this person wasn't for you, it's time, it's healing, and you'll find someone else. So
exactly. Shout out to Tasha. Good morning, Tasha. I see your super chat.
Good morning.
Hey. What you blowing out your hand, girl? Is that some flowers, girl? Like, she blowing some flowers out her hand, girl. Blow them away.
I love it. Alonso said, I want love, but I got trust issues. LOL. Good thing my food loves me. Hey, you can always count on food. A little pizza, a little ice cream, and a little vino. Life is good.
Annie's girl. White cheddar, girl.
Ooh, white cheddar. Okay, I'm getting hungry, so we got to move on to this Anderson Cooper news. He's talking about fatherhood and saying that it not only transformed his life, but has given him a greater purpose. So he also said, it changed everything. I've often in my life felt like I was waiting for my actual life to begin. It's obviously ridiculous because I'm 53 years old, but I've been very focused on getting to some place, getting a story. Because I'm focused on him, it gives an order to everything. So Anderson co-parents with his ex, Benjamin Massani. I love this story because I really think, Anderson is 53 years old. He's, just become a father. And they say that, you never, I don't know the actual saying, but like life doesn't start until you have children kind of thing. And I feel that while, once you have a child, your life does change. There is someone else's life and interests and that you have to put before yours. So of course, he's transformed by this. How do you feel about this, Courtney?
Shout out to Anderson Cooper. Very talented man, and now he'll be a very talented father, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally. I love him, and I love his relationship with Andy Cohen because they're like, for those that don't know, they're like best friends. And Andy has a little boy too, and so these two are probably going to grow up and be little Andersons and Andys together. Like,
wait, Alex, I'm gonna bring the mask. Hang on, let me bring the mask before you transition. I was trying to hold it.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're going to call Kathy Griffin to come and babysit the play dates or what. That's what I wonder, because that's who I care about. Shout out to Natalie. Natalie is saying, did you see in a report to E! News that Lily was actually talking about her depression when she said that? Is Lily depressed? Oh, she's depressed because she obviously had a breakup.
Yeah, she struggles with depression too. I think she's opened up about that. I'm sure this breakup hasn't helped that. And I think it probably has to do with a lot of things, but we wish her well. We hope she gets better soon because breakups they're so hard. I know that feeling where you just feel like you're never going to get over this person and your life is never going to get better. And it's hard. And people that are feeling that way, it gets better and life goes on and you will find someone that's right for you. And just, stay strong.
Block them and move on.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about this Reese Witherspoon news because a lot of parents are just embarrassing their kids during quarantine and in life in general. And Reese Witherspoon was on Jimmy Kimmel Live and told Jimmy that she considers it part of her duty to make life a little uncomfortable at times for her kids. Do you remember her son Deacon's reaction to her support of his first single? For those that don't know, Deacon is an aspiring artist as well. He sings. And so that's really cool that they, share that he wants to be in the industry as well. Reese just sounds like she'd be such a fun mom to have. You know what I mean?
Yes. I feel like Reese has like really good energy. She's very talented. I feel like she's funny. I like her. She sounds like she would be a great mom. Like show up to the PTO meetings with gifts for everybody, a nice little champagne bottle, girl. Shout out to Reese. I would love to meet Reese. She would be like a good brunch date, I feel like. Her and Kelly Clarkson and Selena.
Yes. Kelly and her, they're kind of like the same vibe. They're they're jolly, they're happy, they're goofy. They don't take life too seriously. That would be fun. That's a good table. It's always a good question too. Who would you put at your dinner table or who would you take on an island with you? I love to ask those kinds of questions in interviews. But it's that time. Speaking of dinner tables, this family has a very large dinner table at all times because there's so many of them. We can't keep up, but it is that time of the show to talk about our Kar-Jenner tea time. So Courtney, take it away.
Alrighty, if you guys are ready for all of the tea from behind the Kar-Jenner gates, be sure to turn your volumes down for Kar-Jenner tea time! Hello to everyone in my studio, which is no one, just myself.
Yes. And before we move on, I see you guys still talking about Courtney's ultimate brunch. So let us know in the chat who would be at your ultimate brunch. We love to hear who would you give a chair to. Let us know. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you about this Kim Kardashian and Kanye news because she's responding to this rumor that Kanye is spreading COVID-19. So in a recent interview, Kanye revealed that he contracted COVID-19 and claimed he was able to cure himself through the power of positive thinking. We'll get to that. Kanye hosted one of his Sunday services again and tweeted, "We would like to thank our staff for making sure all COVID safety guidelines were followed today during Sunday service at our West Mountains family ranch in Wyoming. But they were concerned about his ability to But Kim defended Kanye and tweeted, "For anyone wondering, Kanye's team took every precaution to ensure the choir's health and safety, which is always our top priority." Do you think anyone in attendance should be worried? Do you think that fans should just mind their own business? Or do you think that this could have been a threat or risk?
I'm going to no gathering, Alex. That's just me personally. Everyone is able to make their own decisions. A lot of you guys are adults, moms, teens, college, young adults. I'm not going to nobody's gathering. If I want to pray, Alex, truthfully, I can get right on my knees and pray right over there, girl. Open up La Bible, put on some Kirk Franklin, God's Property, if you will, and get my life. Tasha Cobbs, and the like. I don't see why I need to go out and praise the Lord with Kanye and others during a worldwide pandemic. That's the thing. I don't care that Kanye is having the Sunday service. Like, go off. My friend has been to the girl. Do that. Go all of that. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
My thing is what happens after you've praised the Lord and prayed for your forgiveness. You gonna go home to Granny? You know it's always gonna come back to Granny for me, Alex. You gonna go home to Granny, or let me not say go home to Granny. People in the comments will be like, my grandmother doesn't live with me. So 2 weeks from now, you gonna go and see Granny 90 minutes away, or what? You gonna go to the party in the basement, or what? You're gonna hang out at the lake, some of y'all, and swing off the rope. It's so hot outside. You're swinging off the rope in the lake with all 20 of your friends. It just doesn't seem safe to me. Based off of the information that I have. So I think that people should just be careful if you are going to participate. Would you go, girl?
Right. No, I would I mean, if I was invited to the Sunday services, maybe I'd think twice about it, if I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, that's an invitation you can't turn down. However, I do feel that, like, until we know more about the virus, like, we still just don't have all the information we need to be in these large gatherings. So, you know, I'd watch it, I'd stream it from my couch if I got a free ticket in. But maybe it'd be a different experience. But, like, I agree with you. I will say that I think, you know, some of the Sunday services have been inside. This one was outside. So it does allow for a little bit more of social distancing. So maybe they did follow the proper safety guidelines and everyone is safe and okay. I hope that no one, you know, got ill from this. But anywhere you go in a gathering is going to be a risk at the end of the day. So
yes, ma'am.
Should people be worried? Sure. But, you know, don't go crazy about it. Just go get a test and see if you're okay. But let's move on to this Blac Chyna news, because we got to move on. Rob Kardashian is coming back to Keeping Up with the Kardashians this season. We also know that Rob and Blac Chyna share a child together and have had their differences. But listen to this. This is positive news. Despite that, Blac Chyna thinks his return is a positive thing. Though she said and confirmed she probably won't be watching. So she had to put that point in there. So personally, I love to hear some positive, you know, news coming from Blac Chyna talking about Rob. And at the end of the day, you know, he makes some money from this show. So if he can provide for their daughter, of course it's a positive thing for them in their life. And I truly feel that, you know, she did love this man at once. And I hope she wants, at the end of the day, it's healthy to want the best for someone. And I do think that him being involved and him, you know, having more confidence, she obviously sees a shift in him as well. And she thinks that it's in the right direction. So I'm here for it. How do you feel about this, Courtney?
Shout out to Blac Chyna for saying something positive about the Kardashians in general, because we know that they're in the heat of battle right now. At the end of the day, Rob needs to make money. He's part of a wealthy family, but, you know, they could all wake up tomorrow and say, Rob, you're cut off. Now sell some socks. So I'm glad that he's on the show making his own money for his children that he shares, his child that he shares with her. So this is good news. Shout out to Blac Chyna. My question is, what is Blac Chyna doing outside of OnlyFans? Has she booked another show, or do y'all know if she's doing anything? Also, like, you know, Rob's on the show. Is she gonna be on the show also, so they could both bring some money to Dream?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't really know. You know, I don't follow Blac Chyna's life closely. But T-Tribe, if you know what Blac Chyna is up to, let us know. I do want to bring up Karina's point that says, I think people forget that you can have it without symptoms, which is very true. Talking about our last story, is there is a chance, like we said, we don't know all the information. So, You got to be careful. But let's move on to, speaking of Black China, and she caused drama with Kylie, with Rob, with Chris, and Chris is now selling her Hidden Hills mansion for $15 million. This was an off-market sale, so they call it a pocket listing, reported by Variety. The buyer, get this, is reported to be Katharina Harf, which is the younger daughter of Coty chairman and CEO Peter Harf, whose company last year acquired Kylie Cosmetics brand for $600 million in cash, which basically was kind of the deal that was going to make her the billionaire. So Coty is, we've spoken about Coty. It's the company that kind of acquired Kylie Cosmetics, to reiterate that. So, some people are saying this is like incestual for them to do, but personally, I think when you're selling your house, all you want is a good buyer that qualified, has the funds, and I'm talking real estate talk, but you want someone that can afford it, and you don't want your house to fall out of escrow. I'm fine with this. How do you feel about this, Courtney?
I'm fine with it too. I mean, if they got the cash, and Chris is trying to unload a home, like, why not? Go off. I don't really care who she sells it to, as long as she's getting the money's worth for the home. So come on, Chrissy. She can buy more helicopters and more kitty cat wigs. I'm ready for it.
I wonder where she's moving, because we know she has a house in the desert too. Maybe she'll stay there for a little bit, but maybe she's getting another house in Hidden Hills, I assume.
Maybe she's looking for the Wyoming compound, girl, for the part-time days of shooting the show, girl. You just never know, girl.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Julesy in the chat, back to Black China, says Black China blocked me for commenting on her future tattoo. Remember that mess? Oh my God, Julesy. Listen, you made a point. You made a statement. So enough for her to block you. And people have that power. All right, well, let's turn to the story that has us saying OMT today, because it's that time of the show. We're talking about Scott Disick flirting with Kourtney Kardashian. So Scott and Kourtney may be the most amicable exes ever, and the proof is in the Instagram comments. So Kourtney posted this sexy photo of herself in a silver swimsuit, captioning it Lakia. And of course, she looks great. Super, I like this bathing suit. Scott, Kourtney is just queen of quarantine. She traveling and she's just really doing it. But Scott commented, "What a Laker," play on words as in what a looker, for those that didn't catch that. And the two have been spending a lot of time together, of course, in recent months and during quarantine. They traveled to Utah for his 37th birthday in May and reunited for family beach days in Malibu, of course, with Kim's kids, and had all the cousins together. What do you think about this? Do you like Scott leaving flirty comments on Kourtney's thing? Oh, before you answer that, I will say that there's a report that Scott and Sophia are still together and still fine. So there's no drama there. Do you think that if he's in a healthy and kind of back relationship with Sophia, he should be commenting on Kourtney's posts like that?
Maybe Scott and Kourtney both did it as both of them being supportive of one another, because if we don't constantly see some sort of interaction between the family, people like you and myself will think that something is wrong. So instead of they would prefer the headline being Scott Disick flirts with Kourtney Kardashian over Scott Disick doesn't focus on his family as he flirts with Sophia on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? You see how the narrative is? Like, it's
totally
a lot more negative for Scott to seem like not interested in his family and wrapped up in this young girl than Scott may be flirting with someone he had children with. It's like a lot less intense. So I get it. I don't think that there's anything romantic happening. I don't think that anything romantic will happen with them. I don't think that they're the end game. Sorry, Kourtney stands, now that I know that y'all exist and I know that y'all will see and hear this. I don't think that it's the end game. I really don't. Whether Scott and Sophia end up together remains to be seen. But I just don't see it for Scott and Courtney. I think that they're very friendly, almost in like even though we're talking about Scott Disick flirting with Kourtney Kardashian, I look at it almost as just they're really, really close friends at this point. And when you're comfortable with people who might leave a comment like that. I know lots of gay men that would leave a comment like that on an ex's picture and they're just fine. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like, this is not crazy coming from Scott. Scott has a very flirty, sarcastic, sense of humor. I mean, he does this stuff with Khloe too. He does it kind of with everyone he speaks with. He says sarcastic, funny things to Kris as well, to the entire family. This is just who he is, so it's not that crazy. However, if I was Sophia, maybe I would feel a little weird about it, to be honest. As his significant other, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it, but I also think that she chose this relationship. She understands that they're co-parenting and they have a healthy relationship, friendship going on. So maybe it doesn't bother her. Maybe she's confident and cool and she's just like, this is who he is. But I don't know. I saw someone in the chat that says, or Lady T Joy says, I think it's weird when exes do things together with the kids. That would be confusing for the kids.
I think if there's open communication, then you don't need to worry about that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the kids have seen Scott date other women and they've seen Courtney bring home every old enough looking gentleman from the bus stop. So, I mean, open communication. You gotta think, they're doing nothing like that. So it's a lot of time for them to sit down and sort of like explain how this whole thing works. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you guys think about that sometimes? Like, how do the Kar-Jenner sit down and explain to the children how this all works? Like, there was the clip of like North, I think it was Kim, y'all probably know better than I do. It was like North and Kim in the car, and North was like kind of asking like why there were so many pictures being taken of Kim. Yeah. And Kim sort of gave like a really cute answer. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, mommy is famous, or like whatever she said. And I thought it was a very interesting sort of response. So I wonder how the Kar-Jenners sort of explain how the world, or why the world keeps up with them. You know what I mean? Like, do y'all start with Kim? Do y'all start with Mr. Kardashian? Do y'all talk about Caitlyn and how that situation works? Do y'all talk, I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Do kids know about Jordan? Like, if they ever get pulled off to the side by someone, like, do they have, like, are they media trained as young as they are, some of them? I'm curious.
That's a good question. I think that having them media trained, I don't know, because the Kardashians, even though they're very public, they're very private in their internal life. I feel like the kids, they kind of keep, even though they show them on Instagram and all of that, they protect them a little bit. So I don't know necessarily if they'd be media trained, because it's not like Mason's doing an interview or anything like that. And, when he started doing his Instagram live, they took his Instagram away. So they're trying to protect them. And I think that, it's just like truly any person's life and big family and things that go on, there's a way to speak to kids and teach them and educate them about different things, but at the right age. And I think some of the kids are too young. I think Mason probably is aware. He sees stuff on social media. He's a little more. Yeah.
I wish that sometimes parents gave kids more credit. Yeah. I really do, because I think that sometimes parents, I think that and this is not a general judgment. I'll say this, in my experience, I have known lots of parents that will say things like, my child is the smartest, or my child knows Z, but then they don't give their child the benefit of the doubt to understand interpersonal relationships. Because girl, I can remember back to being very, very, very young, and definitely noticing interpersonal relationships, both in my family and outside of it, whether I said something or not. So I think that parents, you gotta give your kids a little bit more credit. Some of y'all, not all of y'all.
Yeah. Karina says, back to the point about Sophia, if she felt weird about it anyway, she would have never dated Scott in the first place, at least to me. That's a good point. I give Sophia a lot of credit. She seems to be very, very confident and just secure in herself and their relationship. And so I do give her a lot of credit, because I'm sure that must be tough. Millie said, honestly, just some banta between friends. I love that you said banta because it's bringing me my Love Island UK episode from last night back. I absolutely love.
It's coming to America, right, girl? I'm seeing the ads on my Twitter. You ready for that? Love Island US, girl?
I don't know. I've heard that the US is not that good. I will watch one episode, but the UK is very good. Let me just say.
Alex, I'll give you all the view.
Maybe I just love the accent. I don't know what it is, but I just love the personalities. I love the listening to the accents. I love it all.
I feel you. I feel that way about Big Brother Canada.
Oh, I know I keep calling out Karina, but she made another good point that Mason was exposing Kylie and Travis, so they might not be media trained, which is what I said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's back to his Instagram Live. As soon as he did something wrong, they took it away. So very, very good point. But I do think that kids know a lot more than we think they do, and we just have to be aware of that and support them. But on that note, this is just, two friends having a little fun on Instagram, and that's where we are with that. But let us know your thoughts, of course, Tea Tribe. How do you feel about our OMT and the rest of the stories today? Of course, tomorrow is a very exciting day because our girl, Naz Perez, is back for another Watch With Us segment. So that's going to be super fun. She's going to tell us about the next round of shows that we have to binge. But we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time for Thick Thursday. Also, check out our Celeb Bites to see all the rest of the news that, Hollywood is talking about. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss a morning tea. Kourtney, where can they find you if they're new here?
When you would like more pop culture videos and mess, feel free to follow me on my own individual YouTube channel as well on social media like Instagram and Twitter. Just take that name up top, girl. All the videos come right on up.
Yes. And of course, I'm Alex Schiffman. You can follow me on all social media at Alex Schiffman. Just hit that follow. And on that note, Kourtney, I think it's that time to take us out. Let's do it.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow for Thick Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And now it's time to wash your hands, Leo. You better wash your hands.